had an hour alone with Buffett in a calm environment, I'd walk out and he would say, this Bitcoin thing's a pretty good idea. Charlie would have liked it. We're going to buy some.
We want our fellow Americans to know that crypto and digital assets, and particularly Bitcoin, are part of the mainstream economy and are here to stay.
So, per the discussion here by the Vice President of the United States of America, he has emphasized it clearly that indeed Bitcoin and the crypto is really part of the of the economy. So, if you can really get it here, he's making it known to everybody that it's not something that is old, something that is being put aside. It is part of the mainstream here. Today, you are welcome to Crypto Lord Nathan. We're just diving into the market to know what exactly is going on here. You're new to our channel, just use 2 seconds and like and then subscribe. Give us a thumbs up that each time you drop news, you'll be the first to know. Let's move forward to the news I have for you. Understand well that the crypto market has really been experiencing some ups and downs. Today, it was posted on the documentary series of Saylor. All right, so it was really said about it here that tighten your seatbelt. Chart says it all. BTC is really shooting. Let's listen to this analyst as he will really spelled it out to us here.
This chart explains exactly why Bitcoin is behaving the way it does. Okay, most people think that we just have these full peak cycles that end at the exact same trend line, but in between these two full peaks, we get a mid-cycle high. We of course get every single bottom at the exact same trend line, but have a look at this, gentlemen. We had a full peak here in 2022. What we have just formed here is a mid-cycle high. We are now incredibly close to the mid-cycle bottom, and again, what comes next is a massive rally towards 300,000. And we know this because the 2019 mid-cycle high was formed while the ISM PMI was contracting, and the full peak was formed while the ISM PMI was expanding. We have formed a mid-cycle high again while the ISM PMI was contracting, and now we are finally expanding within the ISM PMI. And so again, what comes next is likely a full peak at about $300,000.
So trying to just make an emphasized statement here about it that all this full peak and then all this analyze and then ISMP, all this thing is talking about is that the market is still, we are expecting about $300 of coin per BTC assets. We are looking at the market breaking into that level, of course. Again, Coinbase CEO says something profound here, that indeed if you know what is really coming, you have to even get at least 5% of BTC. Let's listen to what he said here and why is he saying that.
The cool thing about Bitcoin is that it doesn't, unlike fiat currency, there's no money printer, right? So the supply of it is fixed, it's finite. And so as more people integrate crypto and use crypto, there's more demand and finite supply. That only means the price can go up. That's why I said by 2030, I think it could hit $1 million. I mean, if they don't have at least 5% of their net worth in Bitcoin, they're probably going to be pretty sad.
Now, what he said, if you don't have approximately like 5% of Bitcoin, you'll probably be sad by 2030. Meaning by 2030, his expectation on Bitcoin is approximately $1 million per Bitcoin, which is really, really, really huge. Of course, yes, you won't understand what these people are seeing unless you get to the seat where they are sitting on. Fast forward into things here. Mikey Saylor dropped a bombshell here, talking about it that indeed, when he sits an hour with even Warren Buffett, he can really convince him to buy more of Bitcoin. Let's listen to what exactly he's talking about here.
I'd be willing to bet you that if I had an hour alone with Buffett in a calm environment, I'd walk out and he would say, this Bitcoin thing's a pretty good idea. Charlie would have liked it. We're going to buy some.
Have you made the cold call?
I have not.
Why not?
Because Bitcoin's on a need-to-know basis, and people have to feel like they need to understand it, like they've got a problem in order to have an open mind. And if they don't acknowledge they have a problem, they don't have an open mind, and they take a conventional view toward the world, it's like the people with a strong corporate view and a healthy company and a strong conviction of their company, they don't have an open mind to a profound paradigm shift. They don't want to embrace that idea.
Maybe the call to Buffett could be seen as a public service, and you want to be a public servant. So if you were to make that public service phone call and you guys sat down and spoke, and you went to Omaha, and all of a sudden he comes out and says, we've made a decision to buy $100 billion of Bitcoin after my conversation with Michael Saylor. I think that's a public service.
I will say for the record, I'm happy to go visit anybody that has $100 billion of cash that's sitting and burning $10 billion of shareholder value a year. I will go visit you, and I will provide you with all of the information you need in order to be convinced that you should flip.
So per what Michael Saylor is really talking about here, it means that He's saying that he has not really made the the move in to Warren Buffett about this deal yet, but he's planning on making a deal very, very soon. To listen to the one and then last most important news, of course, billionaire Ricardo Salinas. All right, most people don't. He says that most people don't realize they are inside the mattress. Which mattress is he talking about? The fiat currency mattress. He said fiat is the biggest fraud, and then the only way to get out of this fraud is through Bitcoin. Let's listen to this important news as it delivered to us here.
They don't realize they're inside the matrix. And for most people, they have never been educated. And they don't realize that they're in this trap, in this rat race where they will never be free and they will be forever slaves to the big government. So some people are fine being slaves. They don't mind it, unfortunately. But I would like to say that most of us don't like it. We like to be free in control of our own decisions. And the sooner we get illustrated by Bitcoin, I just wrote that book, The Bitcoin Enlightenment, with some co-authors. And it explains my deep distrust and how I despise fiat. And how I think fiat is the biggest fraud around, and that the only way to get out of that fraud is through Bitcoin. It makes you responsible. You got to learn to custody your stuff. Because that's another thing. Hey, my money is safe. It's in the bank. I'm a banker, I have a bank. I have 22 million customers. And I know all about the risks. People think that they took the money to the bank, put it there, and that they're probably sitting in the vault in the backside of the bank. It's not like that. The money's gone. It's invested in it's been loaned to somebody to buy a house. That's what banks do,
That's exactly right.
So the banking system is also heavily reliant on the central bank as a lender of last resort. And, because we have the lender of last resort, then banks take on more risk. And they should. Excellent book from the 18th century, 1800s, called Lombard Street. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything has been tried, discovered, and it's the same thing, If you extend credit without corresponding savings, if you mismatch investment horizon with the deposit horizon, there's going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's fundamentally fraudulent, right? Fractional reserve banking, by definition, it's an insolvent business.
So, Ricardo, that is what he has made it here. That indeed the biggest scam of all that we are not seeing, most of us are being trapped into it. Lack of what? Of education, lack of proper examination, and lack of what we not seeing the true and the clear picture is what banking system. So that is all I have for you here. So the biggest scam of all is what? Is banking system, that we are not seeing the true picture of it yet. Alright, this is all I have for you about what? About Bitcoin, about what banking systems, and about it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Bye for now. See you in the upcoming videos.